What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 14 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Hellbeard Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we have achieved tall victory and the rewards that come therewith, and have on top of it reached a critical juncture and goal for this campaign, liberating the spine of Sotek Dwarfs from their destruction at the hands of the clan Pestilence, and, well, starting the probably long road to trying to get them to like us reasonably well enough to maintain them as our allies. It's definitely going to take some effort. We're at minus 146, and by the looks of it, let's see, the Deserters of Katep are a big contributor to that negative, but we can't betray them for a while yet, and in doing so, if we do, it'll piss off the Cathans, so most likely it'll have to come at the expense of territory, but we were always prepared for that eventuality, as I said at the start of the campaign, and we don't care as much about territory as Chaos Dwarfs, just by virtue of the fact that we can colonize anything. If we wanted to, we could sail all the way up to Lothern and Ulthuan and make that into a bunch of billowing smokestacks, so, yeah, no. Plus, the desert is probably a pretty decent place to go as well for this particular purpose. Frankly, Khemri does like us well enough, and as we get stronger, they'll keep liking us more, and the Tomb Kings in general, despite the taint of chaos, so yeah. Anyway, we have begun the war against the Skaven. Now, we've been approaching this rather carefully with these guys for the simple reason that while our main armies are safe, let's move you in camp stance. While our main armies are safe, our little garbage armies, our follower armies, are not, because the AI could easily just ambush and kill them all. So we have to approach this rather carefully, or continue approaching this rather carefully, with the non-main armies. The main armies, I'm reasonably sure, should be able to survive ambushes, but, you know, let's not chance anything. You two will go this way, like so. Harok Morgamaz cannot go anywhere. Then, I mean, just in case we'll level you. I don't think that there's anybody here, but just in case, let's, again, let's not chance it. You can grab magical reserves. Like so, and then the Overseer, what are we missing here on the Overseer? I believe it was Hellforged Ordnance for the escapee skewers and the other Hobgob bolt throwers, which again have been doing pretty well, so might as well keep buffing them up. They're starting to hit a fair bit harder at this point. Hellforged Ordnance it is. We're at 240 missile strength at max. Pretty interesting. And I do wonder if this is the highest we can take them. We could, in theory. I was going to replace this Goblin Laborer unit with a Toruk because it buffs the main line, but we could also do an Infernal Castellan to buff up the machinery because of more powder as well as the missile damage and ammunition that these guys can give. Not Apprentice Marksman, but this. Missile damage +5 for all units rank 7 and above, and frankly, that would help out the doggos as well. You could also go for the extra powder, which increases range for things if missile attack is possible, and admittedly, this would in theory also help out the range units. As in the range units, they're all range units. The Sneaky gets, although the plus 10% range isn't too big for them. The Restock is decent. Admittedly, the Inspiring Inferno will not be super useful, but it's certainly something to think about. Plus, increased mobility is actually nice to have in every army. This may actually be a good place to put a sniper. Rather than these Goblin Laborers, though I am still impressed with them and their, survival rate at this point. Anyway, what we need to do here first is upgrade the... Oh, actually, you know what? Assuming that there's a stack here, and we could try the ambush instead, and yeah, it'll fail because there are heroes nearby. These guys are the thing I'm worried about, though. What we could do is grab marks of the old ones to colonize, but we need 5k. Okay, I know we can get 5k. Well, let's do this. We will... okay, we can't trade with anybody. And we can peace out with Eshin Clanest, but before we do so, since this will piss off the western provinces, we'll join your war against, let's say, Puppets of Misrule, Speaking Trees, Death Swords, Warband, and I guess the Tormentors. Oh, actually, wait, that might be a bit much. 5.6 minus the Tormentors? Still willing. Minus the puppets? No. Alright, gotta have the puppets in there. What about Death Swords Warband? Nope, gotta have... Okay, fine, I'll stop it. Let's do this. Non-aggression for all of these wars. There's another reason that these wars will actually be good for us, and that is we're going to want to trade territory to our newfound ally while getting them to declare war on a bunch of factions. The reason being... Okay, well, peace out with you for the money.
Good.
The reason being, the more wars we share and the less, secure in their position they are, the more likely we will be to maintain friendliness. You... wait. Transfer here. Like so. You... Go here and colonize this. Colonize it as... depends on if we trade it or not. I'm gonna say factory to start. We can always swap it out. Technically, this should be an outpost. However, if we end up giving the Altar of the Horned Rat to these guys, then it's better as a factory, because then we can, put it to better use by building a bunch of military structures there. In fact, start on the workshop immediately. You two, to prevent you from getting ambushed, we're gonna pop you both into a camp stance while this guy is safe. And in theory, these guys could attack us as well. And they are building up, but we're just gonna have to... I'm just gonna have to deal with it, hopefully. Alright, that's as good as it's getting for these guys. Then, we do have a little bit of money remaining. Total. I guess we will want to upgrade you, because there's a strong likelihood that we'll end up trading Itza. I know, it's unfortunate to let go of the gold, but, we can overcome the loss. And maybe we'll have to replace the patrol routes and rush all these things to make them worth more in order to get these guys to declare war on things, because they hate us, and by virtue of hating us, they probably won't want to do stuff. Slaneshi giggle. Quetza, let's go for the Hobgob mustering camp. Oh, I should have gone for the factory here. Oh, we can't switch it until... Okay, fine, do this. Hopefully Quetzal will still be worth a decent amount. Alrighty, anything else we need to do in this particular turn? I checked diplomacy. Convoy, yes, okay, so we do have a convoy available, and it's one of the good convoys. Alright, so we'll add you. Are you leveled? You are leveled. Metallic Resilience Convoy. We will send you around to... I think we need our armaments for now, although we could get a decent chunk of change out of Dragonhof, couldn't we? Get another Vargulf while we're at it. There's potential for it. 5,000 gold. Funnily enough, we need that more than the labor right now. And granted, we could sell off labor to make that money as well. Wait. We could get 5,000 gold, or we could get 1,000 labor. They're roughly even, I guess. You know what, I go here, grab another Vargulf. I'm gonna go with this. I just don't want to pay money for labor right now. I'd rather send them the armaments and then reclaim them over the turn. So dispatch alike, so away you go. It's a relatively close thing in the sense that they don't have to travel far, but, it'll still be worth our time. Alrighty. What else do we want here? We do want to upgrade the war level here for the Infernal Castellan capacity. I'm gonna hope that this won't bankrupt us. Like so. Then I do believe we will want to rush this thing, but we can't do it right now, or at the very least. We need... about 50% of this, so about 3,800, I think. So we have to wait for that. Alrighty, now let's end the turn. And let's see. Oh, wait. Nope. Let us see what we have here. Hunter's Jungle. I mean, construction cost reductions would be great. Yeah, go for the Masterful Architects. Alrighty, and you are nearly done with your recruitment. In theory, I believe we can actually switch out of this now, so you can go into Masterful Architect so we could then upgrade these, which are admittedly expensive, and then switch you to Increase of Income and Armaments after we're done with everything here. Yeah. Alrighty, and then Abnagg's on the way. Or will be. Ooh, this is gonna drop further next turn, but it is what it is. Alright, let's end the turn. Now I hope I haven't forgotten anything. And let's see if Lord Skrolk attempts to attack his Dubar Grimtideson. And whether he does or he doesn't, we want to push towards Oyxl. Unfortunately, it'll probably mean picking up that plague. I saw an army, or I saw somebody moving around there. The question is, where'd he go? Or did he just go into Oyxl to defend it? Presumably that's the case, but I guess we'll find out in a second. Also, considering there are lizard armies here, we'll actually want to reinforce at Oyxl most likely, lest they get killed. A rotten knot, you want peace? No, we're going to force, hopefully, the Spine of Sotek dwarfs to declare war upon you. Alright, then we will... what is this? 1,000 treasury for buffs towards artillery. Yeah, why not? Oh, wait. I mean, it's 1,000 gold. An engineer has demonstrated a way with which we could dramatically improve the range and accuracy of our artillery pieces. But, of course, both his services and equipping our factories to produce this sort of ammunition will come at considerable cost. This will make our enemies tremble even more beneath the might of the Dowie Jar. Confederation, settlement receives plague. Yeah, well, that was always going to happen. Oh. Maybe we should swap out of this into billowing smokestacks for the anti-plaguination. Maybe. I'll think about it. Confederation, while fails. Magic drained. Rude. I guess that's one of the issues with... oh, really? Double plague spread in one go? That was fast. So rude. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think we have no choice. We need to switch this. Hopefully this plague doesn't go everywhere. At least it's not a... I mean, the minus 20% speed is kind of icky. But anyway, you, Izdubar. Doesn't change what you have to do, sir. You have to go to Oyxl and... aha, what do we have here? Oh, wait, so are you telling me that this guy went here to presumably hide, or perhaps to defend Thrice-Cursed Peak? I see Wendrina is moving to Sabaton, which, if she takes, we're probably going to have to kill the elves, but frankly, that was always kind of going to be the case. Rugni Unzalad, we need you to move here, and you cannot reach it. Okay, go into tunneling stance, because it gives you additional ambush defense chance. This guy wouldn't attempt to intercept you anyway. And then you can march stance there next turn. Let's keep you safe by keeping you in a camp stance and reinforcing next turn, like so. How are we doing? Minus 45 still. Alright, next up we do a Lord check real quick. Come on. Ugh, never gonna get that considered Lord, are we? It's been so long. It's been 59 turns and we've only gotten one. Tremendously bad luck there. But what can you do? What about capacities? Oh! Unlike most factions, our short victories doesn't increase the hero capacity, does it? That's unfortunate. It does give us the missions for the for some of the special items, but oh well. Anyway, Abnagg, you're moving now too, buddy. I guess it's about the same whether we march or not. Right, go into march stance, you're going down here. Minus 1300. Okay, we gotta be careful about that, so my Asgak's going here. Mazdamundi is pushing southward. We gotta deal with this problem and then separate armies. One to go to Mazdamundi, maybe even two, and then two probably to go this way, as Arkan seems to be winning his fight against... yeah, he's taking territory. Kofor used to... oh, in fact, wait. These guys are down to 4 settlements, all their armies are destroyed. Yeah, Arkan is coming for us soon. Oh wow, they're fighting Khemri and Disciples of the Maw and Clan Rictus. Oh wow, Chevalier, you, yeah, that was never gonna go well for you. Marbad, I guess? Alright, Itza is on the way as well, and these guys are recruiting very quickly. But Oyxl is under threat and we should be able to take it. I really wish I could tell how far this guy could move. Is it safe to send you around this way? It might be, it might not be. Depending on what he recruits, he might kill you all. Oh. Also you, go this way. And don't immediately get assassinated, please. Alright, go this way. I guess we risk it. We could... wouldn't be able to reach it. I was hoping that we could underway stance on over, but it doesn't look like we'd be in range. We have to march stance. The problem with march stance being... actually, wait. If march stance next turn would allow us to go into the settlement, that would actually make us safe. Alright, I will risk moving you like this, and I'm gonna hope that we can actually push you into the settlement. It might not be possible. These guys we will keep sort of nearby, just far enough away from the lizards attacking them. So start moving this way, but where you hopefully won't get killed by this guy. Can't quite tell how far he can move, which is the big annoying part of this. Alright, try not to die, guys. Alright, he is Dubar. Let's level you and then let's go on in. Okay, wait, you guys are saving skill points. You, however, sir, are not. You will want to grab Arcane Conduit for this, and you, Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. In the close confines of the enemy settlement, a higher tier Burning Head, I think, is going to come in handy. And Flamestorm would be potentially nice as well. You. Oh, you're an Overseer. Right. I maybe should have pushed one of the other Demon Smiths, and specifically the Demon Smith of Metal would have been really helpful, or the Sorcerer Prophet, but we're just going to have to go without. Alright, fair enough. I mean, technically you're the Demon Smith of Hashut. I'm just checking these guys. Ugh, I really want that volatile one. I could just rush this. 70, we do have that. Alright, do this. Rush it, and then get the volatile... Wait. The Awakening, yeah, get the volatile snipey guy. I just don't want him to disappear. I just want to make one sniper and see what heights we can take him to. Alright, Ukani the Red. I like so. Now, you're going to cost us more money. Money for Ukani. And hopefully we can get some of it back. Alright, so Oyxl. What do we have here? 2 Doom Wheels. Ah, but no warp warp bomb. Oh, I'm so glad that there's no warp bomb. Tons of storm vermin, plague monks, yada yada. We got the Doom Wheels and the artillery to contend with, but hopefully we can overcome. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Looks like we've got more Skaven to clear out, and while they are very, very good on the defense here, without warp bombs, we don't have to approach this nearly as carefully. And a big old pile of magic coming down on the enemy, plus the magma cannons offering fire support as well, and we'll follow up that with a nice Shadow and Flame, or whatever that ability is called, coming down on the walls as well. Not actually clearing out those Poison Wind Globadiers, but we'll clear them out eventually. The range fire is also coming in from the Sky Lanterns as a Bale Taurus Breath comes down on the enemy below a Golden Hound, Henna's Golden Hound. Comes down in the midst of a unit of Storm Vermin and Clan Rats. And it's time for us to land upon the enemy walls and start irritating them there, popping off a Dwemer Leech Orb to get a little bit of bonus magic from one of the enemy casters, as there is a Plague Priest and a Warlock Engineer supporting the enemy up here. Gotta do something while we work our way through the gate and the walls and the enemy defenses after all, and there we go. Our Skullcracker has torn down the first of the enemy walls, the second will follow suit shortly. And it looks like the Death Globes and Poison Winds have been cleared off as well. There we go. The next wall falls, and it's time for our units to move forward. Blazing Beards of Bajorak and the Granite Guard will lead their cohorts of Chaos Dwarf Warriors and their Street Sweepers and their Blunderbusses. And it's just a matter of time until we set up a nice firing line within the enemy settlement. Until then, though, the Skullcrackers have activated their more power, or, I don't know, shove more coal into the boiler or whatever it is. And will rush through the enemy lines, repeatedly cycle charging in brutal, bloody charges that sees about 10,000 damage. Dealt to the enemy piles in here within the 30 or so seconds of that ability's activation. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, 30 seconds, 10,000 damage apiece, pretty darn solid. And the distraction offered by all those units allowed us time for the rest of our units to close. Of course, the Skullcrackers continue to do their work. Another Shadow and Flame silhouettes the dying rats as it drops upon them, as the 3 Centaur Taurochs start working away at the Storm Vermin and Clan Rats that are still hiding here. Of course, the enemy settlement does have plenty more units running around there, but not enough here to plug the breach, and that's going to come back to bite them. In the meantime, we've also some of the Kadai Fireborn on top of the enemy artillery crew, who do get brought down. Frankly, we could have also used Shadow and Flame to clear them out. But oh well, not a big deal. Both work nicely for our purposes. And the Sky Lanterns have arrived as well to hover over the enemy and fire in every direction. The Warlock Engineer has been brought down to about 15% of his HP, while our two flyers continue working on the enemy Plague Priest. Oh wow, Plague Priest is at 77 melee attack. That's pretty solid. I mean, the Demon Smith is at 33, 32. Pretty low stats by comparison. But I guess maybe if you're already starting to get petrified from all your magic use, perhaps it does make sense that your stats aren't all that high. Can't be too easy to move around when you're partially stone. Anyway, the enemy moves in with a Doom Wheel, which rapidly loses its HP, being dropped down to 50% by combined fire from the blunderbusses, with the Granite Guard now on top of the walls, and the Bull Centaur Torx now focusing it down as well. And by the looks of it, this settlement, if not quite ours yet, will not offer too much in the way of significant resistance anymore. The advantage is essentially ours, and this is probably the ideal location to attack in this settlement for Chaos Dwarfs in particular, because you can just set up such a nice line of units on top of the walls and across the bridge and sort of reverse siege the enemy. Isn't that lovely? Alrighty, now we're gonna speed this up as we reposition and get ready to set up for a little bit more fighting. Once again, there are still plenty of full HP units running around here. There's 3 or 4 here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units there. There's another Doom Wheel, another Hellpit Abomination, and all that. But again, we now have the advantage of positioning. Our flame cannons, or magma cannons rather, hopefully flame cannons soon as well, are making their way forward. Still firing at the more distant enemies, just gonna have to hope that they don't fire upon too many of our own units as they set up on the bridge. Alright, another speed forward, I think, just a teensy bit. Magma cannons will continue to fire. Blazing Beards of Bajorak have arrived, and let's see if they can't get a nice nap the bomb volley into the enemy Storm Vermin. Actually, these are Clan Rats? Yep, Storm Vermin. Can tell by the helmets. Admittedly, it is kind of dark and difficult to see. Anyway, magma cannons and now blunderbusses firing upon the enemy, and a bridge is a choke point, and that is very much to our advantage. The Blazing Beards of Bajorak now enter the fray, swinging their axes at the sword and board Storm Vermin. And while the little bit of blunderbuss fire will probably get a little bit of friendly fire going, we can hopefully ameliorate that some with a cascading fire cloak to buff up our flame resistance. And ensure that we don't take as much friendly fire as we otherwise might. The Sky Lanterns are making their way forward now as well to help us set up our defensive positions. And the blunderbusses are also well positioned on top of this bridge. They have just a little bit of elevation as the bridge goes up a little bit, and that allows them to fire over the heads of the other units. Alrighty, and the Sky Lanterns continue to provide support, acting once again like they belong. Ooh, and the magma cannon shots streak overhead, or at least over our infantry units, but just below the Sky Lanterns. Beautiful. I mean, we have had battles in some of the past episodes where we've hit our own Sky Lanterns a few times with the artillery, so do have to be careful there. Oh, and it looks like a Doom Wheel has arrived, unfortunately for it. However, several units of blunderbusses immediately focus it down as it gets pinned by our Bull Centaur Torque and gets torn to shreds extremely rapidly. Beautiful. Poor Doom Wheel. And there we go. We got a pretty fantastic defensive position here with the multiple choke points and bridges for the enemy to hold, with the Sky Lanterns hovering overhead with artillery offering support and blunderbusses firing at the enemy that attempt to close as well. Definitely a very nice siege here. And I do believe it's just a matter of time, not much else to say. Oh, there's that Bale Taurus breath coming down upon a unit of Clan Rats or Storm Vermin or whatever was there. But the enemy has little hope remaining as the bounce power is now about 90% in our favor. Searing Doom comes down just as a unit of Plague Monks attempts to move on in. It stops in its tracks rather than take the hits from the Searing Doom, but that meant it was out of combat for a little bit longer and allowed us to clear out more of their friends. Oh, it does look like we have another unit of Plague Monks making their way forward on the other side or over the other bridge as well. And with all of these unbreakable units, they will of course fight to the last rat. But they're also pretty darn susceptible to all of the range fire we have. And melee damage as well. They are very high in melee attack and poison damage dealing, or poison applying, but 30 melee defense only and 0 armor to speak of, which is great for the sword and board units because they comparatively have little armor piercing. Alrighty, and frankly I'm surprised that the rest of the enemy that are still on the field have not yet shattered, but it's all good. And giving us time to bring up a few more sacrificable units, so those units of Plague Monks are free to cut their way through those poor goblin laborers. And our blunderbusses are also free to get a little bit of friendly fire action on them. Ooh, does look like the Plague Priest has returned, which means a pestilent breath coming down through our units of laborers and clipping a few of the blunderbusses, but overall, not all that much damage. And another volley of naphtha bombs into the advancing unit of Storm Vermin. Pretty much cripples the unit before they get to charge on in. There is still a Hellpit Abomination that didn't deign to join the fray. And while the rest of the army will shatter, the Hellpit Abomination, like the Plague Monks, is unbreakable, so it is actually going to move forward after everybody is gone. Or at the very least, it's going to try. We're going to slow it down with that flash bomb, lowering its speed down to 25 when in combination with flammable. Then we're going to buff everybody's damage up a little bit with that flaming Sword of Ruin. Have all of these Sky Lanterns fire upon the Hellpit Abomination, and then turn the blunderbusses to add their fire to it as well. And the Hellpit Abomination will drop, disgorging a unit of Skaven slaves, and that, I do believe, is the last unit that remains on the battlefield. The others just need proximity for them to shatter and give the battle to us. Very, very nice, especially this position with all of these choke points once again. Too bad we don't have any crossbow units as yet that would have been able to fire over the heads of everything. Well, I mean, I suppose we could have used the Hobgob archers, but anyway, would have worked nicely here as well. Alrighty, a very nice fight once again, and pretty minimal casualties, and you gotta admit, the Sky Lantern and, well, the Skull Lanterns. The Sky Lanterns are just such a perfect unit for the Chaos Dwarfs. The kind of hovering overhead a defensible position, acting as spotters and fire support. It's just fantastic, and they even work with the color scheme and everything. I love it. Anyway, we got once again fantastic work out of the Skullcrackers, unsurprisingly, 30k damage and 15k, 1500 damage out as gold value, and the best performing one of the blunderbusses were no slouches, with the Street Sweepers at 15k, and the Granite Guard with 13k, pretty darn solid. Obviously, nice work out of the Demonsmith Sorcerer of Metal, but the Gehennas and the Searing Dooms. The Blazing Beards of Bajorak, solid at 1800 as well. And of course, the Sky Lanterns, 16k damage apiece, beating out many of the units in the army. Love it. Here we will occupy his tower, at least for now. Why do I say at least for now? Hey, Hash's Dark Ravagers, I've been waiting for these. I say at least for now just because we've been... Scav Kralish, Great Taurus. Good for Scav Kralish. And Oyxl receives Plague, yeah, well. Alright, so, you are actually going to leave the settlement, and you're going to go into Channeling Stance, I guess. And then you, despite the potential of picking up the Plague, are going to go into Oyxl, because that will likely, well, let you stay alive. As if this guy ambushes you, it would be irritating. Now, how many territories do these guys have remaining currently? 3, meaning Sabaton, And I presume Thrice Cursed Peak and Sentinel of Time. Do the Dwarfs like the fact that we're attacking these guys? Yes, they like the raiding and the war with Clan Pestilence, minus 144. Gotta pick up Thrice Cursed Peak and then rush it and trade it to them as fast as possible. And then possibly move to Sabaton even at the cost of declaring war on the elves. But frankly, they're... Huh, wait a moment. Maybe Sentinel of Time is a ruin. Wait, if they have 3 settlements, we know there's nothing at the Fuming Serpent, but we know there's something at the Star Tower, and the Clan Pestilence confederated with whatever that faction was a while ago. Clan Spittle, I believe. Huh. Was Kayaks at last gonna fall? They are coming in with their elite army now. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. We'll just see. And regardless, these guys are recovering with more armies and just constant free army recruiting. Oh, I'd love to send a few admirals out to sea as well. Yeah, there's a fair few islands all over the place that we should really look into picking up, as we are kind of a semi-pirate faction, so anyway. Harrock Morgamazu, oh right, you're this guy. I guess we can't risk moving towards Sabaton. I guess you're gonna march stance out this way to try to join these guys. Have to sort of travel together anyway. The construction at Shodel probably will have to be rushed, but for now we'll forgo. We don't have enough raw materials to do the Awakening as yet either. Did we move you this turn? We did. Gotta make sure to keep you moving. Convoys are fine for 1 turn, and oh yes, much needed labor. And Conclave Influence we'll try to keep an eye on. We could spend some to upgrade these, but I think we'll upgrade the tier 5 here first and get that Tower of Hashut, as it will pay dividends very quickly. Alright, and the rest of this I think is fine. You two are not safe at all where you currently are, but I'm hoping that we can deal with it. Alrighty, I guess we're ending the turn then. Alright, skip, wait, diplomacy check. Clan Molder. No, we're not trading with Clan Molder. Are you insane?
My coupon must.
No, nothing of this, and no peace with any of these. How is the war against Goldtooth proceeding, by the way? Wait, is he just hanging out outside of Karakazorn? Oh. How's our outpost looking? We really want those lead belchers. Oh, and actually, no, we'll need to upgrade it to tier 5 because we need a camp. We need a high-level camp in order to access their decent units. Here we can get scrap launchers, gorgers, gettys, slave giants, and... well, the slave giants kind of work like siege giants anyway, so that's somewhat nice. But otherwise, I think... yeah, we'll need access to global. Gotta get those lead belchers, man. Alrighty, well, we'll get to that later. For now, we will skip, and end the turn. And I'm going to hope that nothing goes horribly wrong. Find out. Alright, if there's a full stack at Thrice Cursed Peak, Rungni and Zaled could potentially get attacked. Same thing at Sabaton. Aha, these guys will... huh? There was no fight? Oh, right, because I presumed that there was no garrison there. Yeah, fair enough. Huh. I wonder if we could march stance you 2 marks of the old ones to kill this guy immediately with these guys reinforcing. I guess we'll find out. Loren, oh, are you really sitting there? They've ended their trade agreement, but not their military alliance. Interesting. Tremendously interesting. That, in theory, might help us. Alright, settlement lost, a new regional power bone ratless convoy completed. We'll deal with you in a second. Quetzal, ow, frickin' plague, and Poxmarsh. Oh no, the plague is moving through everything. Obedient mutant. That's not really... okay, fine. Gifts of the Silver Tower. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Oh, I was looking for another Chosen of Slaanesh. Alrighty, so Obedient Mutant. Armor of the Forge is not bad, though. Hey, you. Grab the Obedient Mutant, would you? You're gonna be... eventually commanding an army, but it'll be a bit. Mutant, and just to double check, Eternal Servitude is on Rugni, Izdubar, and Rugni. Good. Alright, so the rest of you are good. Oh, I forgot to put that powerful Berserker anywhere. Alright, we'll deal with you in a second. Money situation's still iffy, but these guys are clearly willing to break agreements, and, well, if they break their military alliance, we'd be free to deal with it. Oh, funnily enough, these guys will like them more, maybe? Yeah, but at least we have less treaties with these guys now. Alrighty, then. Wait, it has not been 10 turns since we got those things, right? Yeah, it's been 3 turns. So once again, the AI just doesn't observe the 10-turn wait time. So rude. Alrighty, next up, Tower of Jar. Now we could go to the military district and grab this, or we could grab some of the cheaper places, like this and this, for example, and usurp them. The benefit of this would be random follower per turn, armaments output, that's not bad. The benefit from this would be that it would be a cheaper acquisition of additional points of this. Every single seat usurped will give us another construction cost minus 2%. And that's certainly valuable. And every single one of these will give us an upkeep reduction minus 1%. These are a little bit on the expensive side, but these are cheap. Actually, wait. Income from province capital settlement buildings at 150 is a little bit expensive, but we need the money. 1453. Let's see what this does. 1453. Yeah, there we go. 1,000 gold per turn. That I think that worked out nicely, or at least reasonably. Military convoys. Next up, we have one of the covert ones. Okay, so let's take you because you're higher level. We'll level you up into better scales, and then we'll send you to Master. Sell armaments for labor this time? Let's sell armaments for labor. And just because it's close by. Oh, I made a terrible mistake. I forgot that we're at war with Tamarkan. Peace out, just so he doesn't kill the convoy. Sorry, Goldtooth, you're probably going to be upset about this, but that's life. And we're just going to have to deal with it. Alrighty. Next up, gotta remember that we can't just be at war with a million factions over there. You, if you march stance, would you be able to reinforce? You would, but it would mean leaving Thrin alone. Oyxl will have defenders, though not much of them. If there is no army to press us here, we should be fine. You... What's the likelihood that there's nobody at Subaton? We can't reach with you anyway. Nope, there is somebody at Subaton, and okay, I'm getting annoyed at this Goblin Laborer unit now. It just dies every single turn. Can you take the Goblin Laborer from that army? There you go. All right, then do this. Will any of the Goblin Laborers die? No, we'll just auto resolve it. I don't. Yeah. Why would these two get hurt and these guys be completely unharmed? Curious, but whatever. Occupies factory. Then, hey, free demon flask of Ashok. I don't remember what this does. Ruptured, melee attack minus 16, some minor damage? Maybe it'll come in handy. Alright, fair enough. Then we will... Oh, we got the Hobgob Bivouacs. Perfect. Then we will immediately build the Ash level, and in fact, I think we will want to rush it. So we'll send 200 labor to the Spine of Sotek. We should have some spares. Let's say... Turtle Isles might be a decent one. No, they're actually in need of theirs. Let's Piranha Swamps. And then the Spine of Sotek, like so. Then we will rush this immediately. Then Thrice Cursed Peak should be worth a decent chunk of change to you. 96, not bad. Will you join our war rather against Cult of Sotek? No, not for this. Heshwatla? No. Itza? No. Pestilence, probably yes. No, not even Pestilence. Oh, that's not great. Followers of Nagash, 40. Puppets of Misrule. Anybody. You will against the Rot, not. Speaking trees. Orcs. Really? Not against the orcs? Yeah, my bad. Alright, do this. Yeah, alright. Fine. We will want to do the trade agreement then. How much money do you have? Could take your money. Pay it back. And slowly give you money gifts as well. That could pay for some of it. How much was for Clan Peasant? Wait, no. How much was for Rodnot again? Minus 51. Alright, I guess it'll have to be the next settlement then. We'll take the treaty as it will help us, and we'll take your money because you already have the buildings. Alright, like so. That puts us up to... really? Plus 4? Wait, why are gifts worth so little to you? What the heck? Game. I don't like this. What? Gifts for you used to... Yeah, look at the... Wait, no, that's treaties. But gifts is 7 right now, but we remember in the early game when we gave these guys some gifts and it was like a huge amount. It was like 59 or something. I don't understand. Wait, and these guys don't care about the broken treaties with us? Why don't... Okay, it's like the game is trying to screw the player in terms of diplomacy and... Oh, wow, that's not good. 3 armies outside of the Isle of the Crimson Skull, and Yanbo, you have to be sitting out there, man. Is that really important right now? Alright, let's quickly grab a couple of Nangao Grenadiers before they disappear. I think some Crane Gunners and maybe some Fire Rain Rockets as well. Fire Rain Rockets maybe in lieu of the Sky Junk, though I did want a Sky Junk as well. You're able to go to Subaton. But I think we can't leave this garbage here, meaning Izdubar, you are briefly going to travel here. We will have one of these guys move to Marks of the Old Ones, whoever has lower level, you. And we'll use Izdubar to reinforce, and we will fight this because we have to, as the game will force us to. Wait, you can go into regular stance. Yeah, but then you probably won't be able to return to March stance, which actually might be fine. Alright, fine. And then you, Growlsh, sit here. Alright, Oyxl, 99% sure that we'll be giving you up to our friends there, so let's get to the... I'm going to say the donation barrel. And we'll have to rush you. Though, out of curiosity, how much are you worth in now? 80. It's not bad, but they won't declare war on anybody at that rate, and we need them to actually declare war on some jerks. We can make it worth more by putting an ash level in, but of course we'll need to, you know, spend money and labor on it. But we were always expecting that to be the case. Ukani the Red, I am making you into a sniper that will join the Gob army, because it amuses me to do so. So, in light of that, you will go for Hellforged Bolts and go for your snipey capabilities. We will then also be giving you the Sky Titan String to increase your range. Oh, this is also probably a good time to, you know, get rid of some of these items. We're finally getting some heroes, so we might actually be able to put some of them on them. It's been annoying having so many items and nobody to give them to. Wait, is there nothing that we can... Yeah, funnily enough, Ocean of Farsight gives you range as well. I'll think about it. Telampives doesn't give you any additional range. I thought there was another... Oh, I was going to give you the Briar Sheath. Stalk, Snipe, Woodsman, and Unspottable. I assume this doesn't actually give you anything of the Stalk or Snipe variety. Oh, actually, this gives you Snipe, but you need Stalk and Unspottable for maximum stuff. Alright, fine. We'll go for the Briar Sheath for now, and I will think about it. You could also use a War Banner. I wish we could just give it to a hero directly, but whatever. What do we have here? Oh, right. The Talisman of Preservation's got to put that on a Lord. I was going to do that earlier and then promptly forgot. The Trickster Shard, the Brass Cleaver, those are relegated to specific lords. Armor of the Forge. I'm looking for a talisman that would give you range. But I don't think there is one. I mean, there is one, the Lucky Arrow, but we don't have any Lucky Arrows, unfortunately. We'll keep the Pigeon Plucker Pendants. We'll keep the... I don't really care for Gold Sigil Sword, though. Alright, let's fuse these. Huh? What do you mean you can't fuse Biting Blade and Gold Sigil Sword? Oh, did I select something else and then promptly forgot about it? Oh, yeah, I did. Alright, my bad, my bad. Fuse these two. Sword of Antiheroes, very nice pickup. We will go for Dragon Helm as well, and... Honestly, I kind of like Enchanted Shield. It's just that there's better green armors to be had. And you know what, let's go Spell Shield and Dragon Helm. I like the armor more than I like the spell resistance. Fuse. Into Forest Cloak. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I don't really care about these Forest Cloaks. I might delete some or I might give them to the Bulls in order to give them Vanguard deployment. I will think about it. Dawnstone and Luckstone into a Deepwood branch. I'll give you missile resistance and ammunition, but I'm not so sure I care about that either. Might turn it into something else. And then we'll await an enchanted item because... Oh, wait, actually, Ranger's Quiver gives you range as well. Yeah, alright, let's do this. Alright, your range is now 243. You'll get another 15% out of this, and then presumably, I think something else will give you a little bit more. And then a Luck Arrow will give you another 8%. All right, we'll see how well you can snipe there, sir, together with the gobos. Will it actually be of use? I don't know, but we'll see. So the fact that these guys broke their trade agreement might mean we could get another trade agreement going. I was hoping for one that wouldn't be with chaos. Maybe, but anyway. Alright, that's fine. Camry, you willing to declare war on those jerkos yet? Join war against the Followers of Nagash? Minus 47. What if we join war against Clan Wars and Chevalier? Wow. That's a 2 points for that. You want 45 points? And 2 points, of course it is. Alright, oh! That the elves have actually managed to take the Star Tower. Oh, good for them, I guess. It won't be good for them for long because we'll take it from them. Not that I really care about the Star Tower, mind you, but, you know. You, Rurika's Demon Keeper, are actually supposed to be in this army, sort of. And I say sort of because there's... This army is supposed to split into 3. And we can't do that yet. I guess we could, you know what, let's pop that into this army right now, and you can go back to your camp stance. Pop this into your army for now. Like so. Alrighty, and then we'll have you reinforce. You guys will need to move, but you can no longer. You can just make sure to channel. Unfortunately, for now at least, these guys are our allies, quote unquote. Minus 130. Alright, just gotta keep giving them stuff, getting them to declare wars, and we actually really need them to declare war on these guys, or Pestilence, or anybody. Yes. Alrighty, Shodel, we will build the Hobgob mustering camp, because 99% likelihood we give them Itza. Shame though it may be. Actually, out of curiosity, how much is Quetzal worth to you? We can't give you Quetzal, how much is Shodel worth to you? Basically nothing, because we're waiting for it to be upgraded. In fact, I guess we want to... Oh, you know what? Shodel can be made worth more by converting it to a factory. Let's convert it to a factory and then upgrade it so that we can give it the Hobgob mustering camp as well as the Ash level. And then Itza, we will need to upgrade you, but not this turn. This turn, we will rush the construction here for 350. Other Trickster Shard. Oh, we finished the Mightiest Fortress. Yes. Alright. Then we will go for the Temple of Hashut for 3.2k, which we will... 560. We could just rush it immediately for the additional increase to Conclave influence. Do we have the spare? We do have the spare. Alright. I think it's worth it. Rush it. And then we need to transfer about 500 to the Jungle of Webs. Alrighty. So let's go minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the Jungle of Webs. Like so. And how's the public order looking? Actually pretty good. Minus here in Amazonia, but it'll go over soon, and technically it doesn't matter because it doesn't actually have any workforce, so that's fine. Alright, so that's our first thing. We're at 86 Conclave influence per turn. If we could get it to like plus 200 per turn, that'd be just fantastic. You... Volatile. Wait, range and missiles... That's the one we got for this guy, right? Yeah, okay. I was worried that I got the wrong thing. Alrighty, and I just want to check no Demon Smiths and no one of these guys. No, not yet at any rate. Fair enough. Abnagg, you are making your way down. This will all be a lot less of a problem once we have your forces, but this will remain a problem. They could actually bypass all of this and head towards these territories, which would not be great, and I'm willing to bet they're never gonna peace out. Minus 406. Is that a new thing? I don't remember factions being so unlikely to peace out before. I've never even seen it go up to over like 300. Or over 200. And we have lots of factions that are like this in this particular campaign. It's kind of interesting, if slightly odd. I'm not sure why that is. Interesting. Anyway, Horok, whatever. You go this way. You guys are good. I have to jump this way. Oh. Okay. You might actually be able to go around and kill Ukani. Uh-oh. I hope not. He's high level. He's not immortal, though. He could potentially escape an ambush. We'll see. Just in case, let's get him some spells. Go for a Flaming Sword of Ruin. Let's go for Evasion. Iron Will does not help you here. Piercing Bolts of Burning and Flamestorm. Actually, neither one of those would help you survive if you get ambushed right now. We could go Fervent Fodder for you, funnily enough, to help out the laborers. But it probably wouldn't make too much of a difference, or at least enough of a difference. Actually... I mean, all we'd have to do is... yeah, we'd have to kill the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers somehow. I'm not sure how we would. Maybe Fireball Spam? You know what, let's probably Fireball Spam because it's reasonably cheap and you do have a lot of mana to be going with. The problem is hitting them with the other spells. Let's grab Piercing Bolts of Burning. Alright. But I think Fireball is probably the way to go here. Alrighty, let's see what these guys do next turn. And next turn, I believe, is not yet, because we still have to fight. Alright, real quick, let's fight this one. I'm tempted to auto-resolve it, but we know that there are a bunch more enemies nearby, and I don't know how much we'd heal here. There is military presence here at 8 as well, and there's a decent likelihood that they could immediately move to the marks of the old ones. And there's also those Itza armies that we saw earlier. Oh, they failed at taking kayaks again? Oh, that's not great for you. They still don't like us very much, do they? Alright, I think we'll fight this to preserve casualties, plus it'll be a pretty darn quick fight. Go, go, go. Oh, right here. I was looking up in the sky for a Lamassu or Bale Taurus, and oh, look at him run at max speed. Kind of hard to catch up to, actually. Come on, we can do it. There we go. All right, it's gonna be a relatively small fight, but well, I mean, there's still a decent amount of units there, plenty of fast movers, so we do still have to approach this reasonably carefully. That said, if the enemy is on the defensive, it does give us time to set up, which is definitely going to work in our favor here, as we do have cannons, and we do have range units, and if we can take a favorable position on this particular terrain, then, well, we'll have an even bigger advantage, not just numbers. Like so. Alrighty, there we go. We got a very good position now. We have a cliffside protecting our left flank. We got trees protecting our right flank, and we got a little bit of elevation for our blunderbusses to take advantage of. Our dwarf warriors, chaos dwarf warriors, sure, will hide down into the lowest element proportion of the hill, essentially, and make sure that the blunderbusses can fire over their heads. And of course, we continue getting support from the Sky Lanterns as well, which offer us that lovely accuracy and missile resistance buff to everybody around in a massive aura. And the additional missile resistance is always nice, especially in combination with all the armor and shielding and whatnot we have. And speaking of course, we do have that war drum. We're going to start with the accuracy offered by Disdain of the Dragon Emperor, but of course switch rather later to the... whatever the other one is called, this shielding and such one. Yes. Alrighty, well, it looks like the enemy is annoyed enough to already start moving towards us. More power to them, I suppose. The longer they take to get to us, the more damage they'll take from all of our magma cannon fire. I'm just listening to that drum beat a little bit now, and maybe we can listen to the cannons fire. There we go. That took a little bit longer. I was like, hello. But it looks like we're good. Anyway, the enemy is well and truly moving towards us now, and over on the right flank, a unit of Feral Cold Ones attempts to get around us. Since there are more Feral Cold Ones on the left flank, but that flank is protected by cliffside, only the right flanking units are important, and so we'll have the Kadai summoned on top of them to tear them to shreds. In the meantime, we're going to bring up a unit of blunderbusses to bring down those units of Pterodon Riders, which admittedly, with their javelins, should be fairly threatening to the unit of to the unit of Kadai, as they're relatively fragile. Magna cannons now work at units they are very good at obliterating, i.e. poor piles of fragile, low-armored skinks. First of the units of Red Crest is pretty much destroyed. We're going to quickly summon a Burning Head, but it looks like it whiffs it just a little bit, but not to worry, since we won't have to save spell work for this particular battle. May as well just send a few spells their way. Vortexes to block the enemy off as a Flamestorm is joined by Gehenna's Golden Hounds, and though the enemy heroes do charge forth together with their Feral Cold Ones, we're going to punish them by dropping Flame and Shadow upon them and making them eat many a blunderbuss shot. There we go. The enemy lord has closed the distance, but unfortunately for him, thanks to the Lamasu, we hit him with the Withering and the Enfeebling Foe, severely debuffing, or basically removing his stats, and then he walks into the Transmutation of Lead before being charged down by the Skullcrackers, who now enter the fray. Now the sort of flame funnel or flame storm is still going in the distance, but the bounce power is already at about 95% in our favor. Interestingly, the Temple Guard that we pin in place with the Kadai Fireborn actually ignore them and attempt to move towards our blunderbusses, but shatter just as they reach their line, and with them, by the looks of it, the battle is ours. A quick one to be sure, but a lovely little bit of using the terrain to great advantage. Alright, there we go. An utterly unsurprising result there, but we wanted to enjoy this army at least once or twice more before it separates into multiple armies. So, I like the composition, and it's worked pretty darn well over the course of Isdubar Grimtideson's time commanding it. We will retake this place as a factory this time. Wasn't it a factory last time? I don't remember, but if we are to potentially give it to these guys, then yeah. Luckstone, no thank you, we'll turn that into something else. Channeling Staff, ew, we'll turn that into something else. Enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Headhunter's Jungle resecured, and this time we will... Oh, actually, go back to Masterful Architects. Can't stop the Plagueination now by the looks of it. But what can you do? And therefore... Wait. Yeah, these guys could attack us. They are recruiting real quick. I guess, yeah, what we will want to do is jump to Sabaton with you and try to figure out what to do about Thrin here. And I assume that these guys also have another settlement at the Sentinel of Time? Or was it? Yeah, 2 settlements left. So that one's taken. Oh, it is these 2. I just miscounted. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Man, I can't believe that these guys are sending like 5 armies at this particular place, and Tehenneman's still sending all of his forces to us instead of any of them there. Not that I'm surprised, mind you. Alright, well, it is what it is. We will keep hold of the rest of our resources, at least for now, much as I'd like to get more raw material income coming in. I don't think we want to get rid of any of this right now, although I am tempted to build at least one of these. Yeah, fine, do it. Just gotta be careful. We will need the money to rush things and send more territory over to these guys. Also, how many more turns until we can cancel this? 3 turns. Okay, so we'll wait 3 turns. We'll probably cancel our military agreement with them. We probably could have kept them friendly, but the problem is that since these dwarfs don't like them, we can't have it. And hopefully these guys don't get too angry about it. But frankly, they've got problems of their own to deal with. And there's a decent likelihood that the elves also declare war on us, especially since by the looks of it, Morathi is pretty much a loss what she's been doing. Alright, well, skip outpost available with, the dwarfs, right? And the deserters of Katup. Well, Mine of the Bearded Skulls is the only place to build this. As well start on it. Ally missions, that's not gonna happen from Goldtooth. Wait a second. Ally missions to kill Amorkhan? How can you have missions when we're no longer at war? Curious. Not a big deal, though. Yeah, see, you don't like the past treaties with Maggot Host and Eshin for piecing out. But it is once again what it is. Minus 12 though, still okay, reasonably okay. We could really just use more of those lords that give us diplomatic relations. Consider Lord. Skip and end the turn. Well, let's see what happens this turn. And where Thren goes. Maybe he should maybe march back here. Maybe we should take Chupayodel and then go back around here, but then there's the possibility that Oyxl gets attacked. On the other hand, we do have this army on the way. Ah, Thren is going here. Oh, maybe Throt is there then. Interesting. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Ah, everything's impregnated. I'm just so happy that these are Nurgle plagues instead of rat plagues, because... rat plague bad. The lizardmen can attest to it. Or at least those lizardmen that remain alive. Alrighty, the wild hunt begins, not our problem. Technology researched, good. More conclave influence coming in. Settlement receives plague. Ugh, everything's gonna get plagued. Oh well. Technology, we're immediately going to the communing altar, much as I'd love to spend the additional influence to get more seats. This increases all influence by 10. You gotta spend influence to get influence, or whatever. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Easy tech pick. Ukani the Red, you're going this way. Abnagg Hellbeard, you will proceed towards Oyxl as fast as you can, I believe. This should allow Rugni Unzeled to move towards these guys here at Subaton, and you two to reinforce once the battle begins. So just stay here and don't move. And there we go. At least here you're safe. Scaff Growlish, you're also... Stay fish. Actually, if these guys take Sentinel of Time, they'd probably be doing us a favor. And again, we do have limited time in which we have to give these guys more territories, so we gotta hurry that along. Alright, I guess we'll build the ramparts here. And we'll probably want to rush it, because Oyxl is definitely one of the ones we're probably going to give away to them, especially because Subaton is nestled into the spine of Sotek, and... I mean, Shodel kind of is as well, so it is an option. I just really want to hold on to that gold for ourselves if we can, but let's preemptively build military structures, and just in case. Yeah, Oyxl, we're probably going to need to rush if we can afford to do so. Let's give it a minute. See what else we got. 2 turns until we got labor and money influx. Hopefully long enough. Isdubar Grimtide, son, are you able to reach Chupayodel from here? You are. Meaning we have to send you to Chupayodel, buddy. Unfortunately, this does take you further away from the other armies that, or the other units that are being brought to you here, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it, sir. How many territories do you have, incidentally? 5. Frankly, it's not really Chupayodel that we should look to knock out as fast as possible, but rather the last territory of Itza, so that they can no longer build armies. That alone will be worth our time. I also do note that there is more gold here, which is good. Gold is good. Anyway, you go here, and you will march stance? Yeah, you're gonna have to march stance here. Alright, now, unfortunately, oh. I should have summoned the Hushid Stark Ravagers. Well, what can you do? We could always have Scaff Growlish deliver some of these guys and split the armies in half. And how are we doing out here? Alright, Yuanbo, please just sit in the Isle of the Crimson Skull and defend it. Just sit there. Don't go out. Don't go out to the sea and die. Just defend this. With a full stack plus the defenses here, you should potentially be able to hold.
There is wisdom in this.
Oh! You're building sky junks now. Oh man, I wanted some of those. Damn it, you better not die, you jerkface. Anyway, the Temple of Kashut is there. We do in theory have room for incinerator / furnace, but frankly, though it would be nice to get these everywhere because they rush construction labor cost reductions. This is kind of not worth it in this particular territory though, and might be just a reason to go for the lava fields. Maybe. Or we could hold on to the raw materials for the inevitable construction of all of this stuff that's going to be needed. Yeah, you know what, let's start preemptively upgrading Itza then. Though I would really like to get more income coming in. Maybe we spend a couple of turns just building a few extra gold refineries. You know what? Let's do it. And you can rush it. There we go, it's a little bit better. And armaments, we will hold off on doing anything with for now, though... Well, yeah, hold off. I'd rather get additional capacities than spend them on anything else. Anyway, do we have time to fight this? Honestly, not really. I think maybe this is probably then a good time to call it. Frankly, unless the garrison is decent. Well, it's a lot of skinks, which you shouldn't underestimate, in the same way that you shouldn't underestimate our gobs, but I don't imagine the enemy has too much of a chance here. But nonetheless, it's a big old pile of enemies, and should still be fun enough to fight. So we'll start the next episode by fighting them, and hopefully spending the episode taking out Oyxl, as well as the clan Pestilence, and then getting ready to attack and rapidly take out the Citadel of Dusk and split our armies off, which I did want to do this episode, but it kind of didn't happen. And then send a reinforcing army to save Yanbo, hopefully. He's stayed with us for this entire time, so, you know, gotta appreciate his loyalty, if nothing else.
Bow before a king.
And you still don't like us. Yeah, anyway, more Chaos Dwarfs to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they will determine how long this campaign continues to run for. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.